How y'all doing? This is FITTRON coming at you on the FITTRON channel. Live here at Tactical Studios. Want to give you an update on EP3 and what the future holds for the project. Currently, we've got EP3 coming out here in a couple days on January 1st, 2025. And also in the background, we're working on putting together EP4, which we've probably got it about 80% complete. And again, should go final come fall time 2025. Little history about the project FITTRON. It really kind of got kicked off in 2012 when me and Nick Hammerson really started discussing music and the process. And I had always thought I had these songs in the back of my head that I could put together, and he kind of gave me the motivation to really start getting some discipline to work through it and follow through. And I started that, but really didn't get serious till about 2017 after I retired from the military, and started putting more time into it, and not only songwriting but becoming a better musician myself. So I worked on sort of doing these little arrangements of these primarily musical arrangements, not a lot of vocals involved early on, just rocking songs that I thought sounded cool. And the more and more I did it, I started to put together some small arrangements, not really completing full songs, but just like little pieces of songs. And that really sort of picked up as far as the skills in full songwriting, if you will, was when I met Drew Lamont from Right Way Studios. I took a little song I had called Tank Platoon, which is about a situation that happened over in Iraq on April 4, 2004. I wrote this little song about it, and fortunately Drew really liked it, and it was kind of up his alley and the type of music he liked. He's been in multiple bands, and so we started working Tank Platoon, and from there I showed him a couple other things that I had been working on, and we sort of took them to task as well, and started creating full songs of those as well. And we got to the point to where we had basically not quite an album, but at least an EP if we put this stuff together. As far as music wise, we would have an EP worth of music. I started working some vocals. I don't really consider myself a singer, but I started putting vocals over top, and it really wasn't what I wanted. So, and I didn't want to do all this myself in the first place. So between me and Drew, and then bringing Nick back on to the project, he provided the lyrics and the vocals to most of it, with me and Drew helping out on that part, and really kind of brought it together with putting the vocals over top of this music, creating sort of a grunge, rock, metal sort of collaboration, if you will. And so that's kind of how it started. And then the way we make songs or create these songs is I generally will kind of do what I was doing initially prior to meeting Drew. Was I'll put together this sort of verse chorus combination of these riffs that go well together. Once I've got something that's working well, I'll take it and I'll actually what I call bracketing the BPM, the beats per minute. Is I'll work that song, play it at different speeds, if you will. I might create the song, or not the song, but the sort of concept of a song at 120 beats per minute, but then I'll move it up to 130, maybe even 140, and I might even dial it down to 110, 190, and see where it sounds best. And it might be 120, but it also might end up at 130 or down to 90. It just depends. And once I find that BPM that really sounds the way I want it, I'll start building it out. So I'll have a verse, chorus, and then I'll be looking for a bridge. And I'll try to get at least those three parts musically meshed together, where I can play them in all sorts of a different arrangement. You know, I can go verse, bridge, chorus, chorus, bridge, verse, back and forth. So they're basically they're intertwined, and it really sounds good together. And then that basically starts the phase where I can go into a full-fledged arrangement of the song. I generally will write in a part 1, part 2, part 3 arrangement setup, not to count for the intro and outro, and sometimes we'll do an A, B, and C. And what I mean by that is like a 1, 2, and 3 might be part 1, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, bridge. That might be part 1, for instance. Part 2 would be potentially, maybe we double time it, and so we figure that out of how that should sound in a double time or in a half time. And so part 2 would basically be this, essentially the same song, but again, sped up or slowed down. And then you can transition into a part 3, which maybe go back to the original BPM, but maybe it's done under a different tension, or different textures are brought in. If we do a part A, B, C, that's more of a song that's written and arranged where you've got part A and then transitions into almost another song that we had developed, but marries really well with part A. And so we'll bridge into part B, which almost goes, like I said, into a different song. We might bring part A back and then transition into a part C. And then it might go A, B, C, it might go A, C, B, it might go C, B, A. It just depends. Again, it's an arrangement where they all go together, similar to the verse, chorus, bridge, but literally into a full song arrangement. So, matter of fact, these songs I got playing in the background, these are songs that are really in the concept phase. I'm still messing with them. The vocals you hear are me. Again, a lot of times now, where we're at, I will also hand these songs off to Nick with a vocal already laid in, to just give him sort of an idea of kind of the root of the song. Where's it coming from? And the vocals give him a lot of insight of where I was coming with the music as well. So, but yeah, basically, you know, I'll start here at Tactical Studios, which is, again, my personal studio at the house, and get the gist of the song ready. The next phase for me is I'll send it over to Drew. He'll listen to it, give some feedback, and constructive feedback, thumbs up, thumbs down stuff, whatever. Sometimes I'll go back to the drawing board until I get some things fixed, and then eventually I will go down with Drew at Right Way Studios in Baltimore, and then we will actually re-record most of it. Actually, we'll pretty much re-record the whole song there at Right Way under his professional equipment and under his engineering skills that he has, and really put polish on it, if you will. At the same time, Nick will have a copy of basically what we're working on, and where he's working his lyrics and final vocals that will get integrated in at the point want to get ready to finalize the song. A lot of times when me and Drew have the music portion done and Nick has the vocals, there will be times where we may have to do some different arrangements, basically because of the way Nick has either extended the vocals in a certain part. We might have to double a verse or double a chorus, or sometimes just bring a new part in, just based on the way Nick developed his vocals. So it's a fully collaborative effort at this point. One of the things I would like to highlight that not only with his engineering and guitar skills that Drew brings to this project is he's amazing at really taking like the bridges that I'll develop and just taking them to a whole other level with these tensions and effects that he can put on there. It's a lot of fun, and that's probably one of the things I like best is, there's one thing about releasing a song. To be quite honest, releasing a song is almost, I don't want to say the death of the song, but it's the end of it. It's done. It's on the shelf. There's no more going back. Even if you have good ideas, my recommendation is to keep that song parked and move on, because you can literally continue making a song for it's endless. You can always find little tweaks and things you might think might sound better, and but at the end of the day, I like to just park them and move on and get to new music. But the process is the part I really enjoy. It takes a while to get the initial sort of verse-chorus combo that I was talking about earlier. But once I get that, and I think I'm on to something, it's kind of like having a fish on. The process from there to building it out and getting it shaped up good enough to present to Drew and Nick to take it to that next level is the part I really enjoy. And but yeah, I just wanted to do a quick little video for y'all and give you an update on what's going on with the project, a little bit of how we do things. It's fairly consistent that way. Although Nick has a song he brought in that he pretty much developed for the most part, the groundwork like I've done to our previous songs, and so that is a very positive thing for the project. As again, songwriting is between all three of us actually initiating songs will I think make the project much more collaborative, and also just it's a learning environment that we're in too, which is cool too. So we're constantly learning, constantly getting better, I think, and learning new techniques, new ways to do things, and it's just a lot of fun. So hey, if you like this, I was also thinking about doing a couple videos on other parts of the project. I can go more in depth about specific songs, and then I also have a pretty good history of things such as my past life. I grew up in Longview, Washington, which is a total rockin' partying town. That's where I get a lot of my I get a lot of this songwriting from reflecting on my past. So Longview's a big part of that. I also had some pretty cool times in weightlifting, bodybuilding, powerlifting. I have a lot of stuff I could talk about during those phases of my life. And then also the military. I spent 20 years in the military, retired as an officer, was in armor and cavalry units, deployed a couple times to Iraq. Got some pretty good stories about that, and finished up in the acquisition community, actually testing and fielding and training systems to provide to the Army. And I continue to do that today as a contractor. in addition to FITTRON project, which is a love of mine. So anyway, I'm signing out here from Tactical Studios, and again, this is FITTRON coming at you from the FITTRON channel. Have a good one.